With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
Hello students, so the question is, two ideal batteries of EMF V1 and V2 and three resistance R1, R2 and R3 are connected. The current in the resistance R2 would be 0 if. So for this, let's see the solution. So actually in this question, we have given here the circuit in which we can see that the resistance R1, R2 and R3 are connected to the EMF of V1 and V2. Alright, now according to this, we have to find the condition for which the current flowing throughout the resistance R2 should be equals to 0. Okay, so let's see the solution. Now first of all, to this first loop. Okay, so according to this, let's suppose the current flowing throughout the circuit is I. So the same current will flow throughout this and the same current will flow throughout this because there is no current flowing throughout the R2 resistance. That means the current flowing through the R2 resistance is 0. Alright, so according to this, by applying KVL we can write, we are going from negative to positive, so it will become plus V1. Now direction is same, that's why it will be minus of I into R1 minus for R2 it will be 0. This will be equals to 0, right? So from here the current I will become equals to V1 divided by R1. Let it as equation number 1. Now similarly, if we apply the KVL for the whole loop, means I am considering for this complete loop. So here what I can write, that is applying KVL to the whole loop, we can write the equation that is V1 minus I into R1. This is plus, so this will be plus V2 minus I into R3. This will become equals to 0. So from here, V1 plus V2 will become equals to I in bracket R1 plus R3. That means I will be equals to V1 plus V2 divided by R1 plus R3. Let this to be as equation number 2. Now if we equate equation 1 and 2, so that we get the situation, that is V1 divided by R1, this will become equals to 1 plus V2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now if we cross multiply this, so we get V1 R1 plus V1 R2. This will become equals to V1 R1 plus R1 V2. Right. Now here V1 R1 will cancel each other, so that we get the condition, that is, this is R3. So this will be R3. Now here we get one condition, that is V1 R3 will be equals to R1 V2, and according to this condition we will check the given option. Alright, so according to this, in the first we have given, that is if V1 will be equals to V2 and 2R1 will be equals to 2R2, that will be equals to R3. So here we don't consider the R2 because the current flowing throughout the R2 is 0. So we have to find if V1 will be equals to V2, so 2R1 should be equals to R3. So for that, first of all we will write here the condition that we have found below, that is V1 R3, this should be equals to R1 V2, right? R1 V2. Now if we substitute in the place of V1 as V2, so this V2 will get cancelled. We simply get R3 will be equals to R1. Now if we check, so here it is given 2R1 is equals to R3. That means it is become wrong. So that's why option A will be wrong. Now if we check the second option, that is if V1 will be equals to V2, R1 will become equals to R3. So yes, it is perfect because we have already found it here, that is when we substitute here in the place of V1 as V2, so V2 will get cancelled and we get the relation as R3 will become equals to R1. That's why this option B will become correct answer for this question. Now if you check the third option, that is C, so V1, if V1 equals to twice of V2. So twice of R1 should be equals to R3. So for this, let's see the condition. So we have this condition, right? So in the place of V1, we simply put this twice of V2. So what it will become? That is twice of V2 into R3. This will become equals to R1 into V2. Now V2 get cancelled and we simply get R3 will be equals to R1 divided by 2. Now check here. If V1 will be equals to twice of V2, the 2R1 should be equals to R3. But here we are getting something another expression. That's why the option C will also become wrong. Now let's see the fourth one, that is D. If 2V1 will be equals to V2, 2R1 will become equals to R3. So let's check the last condition, okay. So according to our condition, that is V1 R3, this should be equals to R1 V2. Now if we substitute here in the place of V2 as twice V1, okay, so what it will become, that is V1 is equals V1 R3 will be equals to R1 into twice of V1. Now here V1 get cancelled and we simply get the relation, that is R3 will be equals to twice of R1. Okay, so if V2 is equals to twice of V1, we are getting R3 is equals to twice of R1, R3 equals to twice of R1. So this is absolutely correct. Okay, so here I can state that the option D is also correct. Okay, so here for this particular question, option B and option D are the correct answers. Okay, so this is the required solution for this particular question. I hope you like the solution. Thank you.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut App today.